Modern F1 cars rely on more than just internal combustion to reach their maximum power output. The V6 turbocharged hybrid engines generate an extra 160 brake horsepower via the ERS, Energy Recovery System. The power for this electric motor is recovered from energy that otherwise would have been wasted. The MGUK recovers energy from braking and the MGUH from the turbo. The ERS system has a number of modes. Keeping up with the development race is vital for continued success in Formula One, but resources are limited, so choose carefully where you allocate them. Throughout your career, you will earn resource points. Over the course of the Formula One season, each driver is limited in the number of power unit and gearbox components that they may use. The multifunction display is a vital tool to give drivers control over their cars and make important information visible during a race. It's possible to cycle through the screens on the MFD to access the settings such as brake bias or the tyres to be fitted at the next pit stop, as well as car condition, component temperatures and race strategy information. When speaking to your engineer through the radio, the MFD is also the place where you'll be able to view and select your available commands. The multifunction display is a vital tool to give drivers control over their cars and make important information visible during a race. It's possible to cycle through the screens on the MFD to access the settings such as brake bias or the tyres to be fitted at the next pit stop, as well as car condition, component temperatures and race strategy information. When speaking to your engineer through the radio, consistency over a long distance is vital in Formula One, so being able to manage tyres and reduce tyre wear is a useful skill. The tyre management program available in free practice sessions will help you learn tyre management while earning resource points for development of your car. Be careful on the controls to reduce the amount of tyre slip and therefore wear. The better you can do this, the higher you will score and the more resource points you'll receive. You'll need to balance tyre management with speed, as you must stay under the target lap time. When the on-screen bar moves towards the red end, that means that you're wearing your tyres more than expected at this part of the lap. When it moves towards the purple, you're wearing them less. Stay in the green or purple for a successful test. The safety car may be deployed if there is an incident or if the conditions are too dangerous to drive in. Once the safety car is out on track, there's no overtaking permitted and you must keep your lap time above a minimum in order to safely form a queue behind it. The formation lap is an opportunity to practice your race start and put some energy through your tyres and brakes to get. Races aren't won from the start line, but they can be lost, so getting a good start can make an important difference to your Grand Prix. As the lights come on, engage the clutch by holding the gear up button. Then, feed in the throttle to build up the revs. When the lights go out, release the clutch and it's away we go. But be careful not to release the clutch too early, or you may end up jumping the start. If your RPM is too low when you drop the clutch, your car may go into anti-stall. Don't panic if this happens, There's a huge amount of time to be won and lost in the pits, but ensure that you don't get too greedy as you approach the pit lane speed limit line. On the approach, you'll see a notification of the pit lane speed limit and your distance to the limit line. If you cross this threshold too fast, you'll be giving a speeding penalty, so be careful. There are valuable tenths to be won by getting it right. There's a huge amount of time to be won and lost in the pits, but ensure that you don't get too greedy as you approach the pit lane speed limit line. The drag reduction system, or DRS, opens a flap on the rear wing to reduce drag and improve the straight line speed of the car. Drivers are able to use this system in specific DRS zones as long as the circuit is dry. There are no additional restrictions to DRS use in the unforgiving world of Formula One. Free practice sessions are a vital part of any The track acclimatization program available in free practice sessions allows you to learn the track whilst earning resource points for the development of your car. On-track markers show the key points through each corner, and the more of these you're able to consistently drive through at an appropriate speed, the higher your score and the more resource points you'll be rewarded with. Tyre selection is a critical issue in Formula One, and the current tyre regulations give individual drivers more freedom than ever. Pirelli allow 13 sets of dry tyres and 7 sets of wet. In today's era of hybrid engine technology, Formula One employs a strict maximum limit on the fuel load. In order to run as light as possible, teams will tend to underfuel their cars, but this means that drivers need to save fuel during the race. Fuel saving can be achieved by using a technique called lift and coast. The qualifying pace program available in free practice sessions challenges you to beat a target time that corresponds to an expected position on the starting grid. The race strategy program is all about developing a personal race strategy. This test will... Sprints are a shorter race session, around 1/3 distance of a standard Sunday race. Drivers are not required to pit during a sprint for a change of tyres, though they are not prohibited from doing so. The results of the sprint form the grid for Sunday's race, and there are points awarded for the top 8 finishers of the sprint in the following denominations. First place awards 8 points, second place awards 7 points, third place awards 6 points, all the way down to The multifunction display is a vital tool to give drivers control over their cars and make important information visible during a race. It's possible to cycle through the screens on the MFD to access the settings, such as brake bias or the tyres to be fitted at the next. The drag reduction system, or DRS, opens a flap on the rear wing to reduce drag and improve the straight-line speed of the car. Drivers are able to use this system in specific DRS zones as long as the circuit is dry. There are no additional restrictions to DRS use in practice and qualifying. However, in a race, the system can only be used when the driver is 1 second or less behind another. Watch the bar at the bottom of your multifunction display as you approach the DRS zone to see. The drag reduction system, or DRS, opens a flap on the rear wing to reduce drag and improve the straight-line speed of the car. Drivers are
Hello folks, and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for this, the inaugural round of the 2022 Formula One World Championship. And I've got to say, it feels great to be back. As is tradition, there is something of an air of a first day back at school on arrival here. But it's more than that, because the new era of Formula One has arrived. And with it, the eagerly anticipated new car regulations, which have been designed to help promote better racing. With clean sculpted lines, swooping rear and front wings, which should allow cars to follow each other more closely, new eye-catching 18-inch low-profile tyres, the return of ground effect, and a reduction of aerodynamic physical adornments, the new cars look strikingly different, all while improving safety and pushing the limit of technical ingenuity. So then, which teams have interpreted the rules most effectively? And which drivers will adapt to their new car the quickest, leading the charge against the rest of the pack? Only time will tell. As always, we can't wait for this season to begin, but for now, from us, that's it.
So this first race of the season is always quite difficult for us trackside and for those back at the factory as well, as it's the first time the car has run since winter testing. The more consistent mileage you can get in these sessions, the happier we'll be. We have a number of programs to run during these practice sessions. You can check the details in the car monitor. We'll get good data for both the race and the factory teams, so they're well worth running. Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy. good enough that lap, try again. last lap was a 1:45.2. Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well. Okay, DRS zone coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD. Okay, so we're slow through the following corners. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 6, turn 8, turn 10, turn 12, turn 14,